Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Sorry, you caught me right when I was having to drink a tea. We got 12 properties on this list, 12 from the Toronto system, and then 2 more from the Oakville system, including what I consider to be a really good property, close to $1 million. There's a lot of nice things I'll talk all about in just a second. Buyer class is this Thursday night, so if you want to come, just go to miltonbuyerclass.com. And really for the time it takes to watch a movie in the theater, you can come here, talk about a lot of things that are going to save you time and money when you buy a house, all the steps, all the costs involved, some of the things that people who have bought 6 or 7 homes, they've come to the class and they've said, wow, I had no idea all this stuff existed. So the goal is to keep you safe and keep you well informed before it happens. And the presenters combined have had over 100 years experience doing what they do in the process. So we put together the best information we could for you. So again, no cost to attend. Bring a food bank donation because there's people who need it, and we'll give you a manual, give you some cookies, and it'll be a great time. So Dawson's the first one up. $350 is the price point. Smart move at $350 versus $349.9. Good ability to straddle 2 price ranges. We're putting a townhouse out today that we're doing the same thing at $375, and I'll give you the scoop on that as soon as I can. It's on Stewart Crescent. So anyway, so this one on Dawson, it's almost like that whole conversation of gross and net money. It's like you don't actually make what you make at work, you make after you net out from taxes and all the rest of it. So it's the same thing here, is that this is perched on the doorstep of needing some work. And so getting close to 15 years, 15 to 20 is typically the age when you're doing roof, furnace, possibly windows, depending on the quality of the windows. And even inside, the floors kind of squeak a little bit in a lot of these homes, not saying this one in particular, but that's something you just have to be careful of. I like how close it is to downtown. I like all the activity happening on Bronte. I think that's good for values. However, it is a little bit close to the train tracks. Although, as we've seen on streets like Duncan Lane, that doesn't always have a huge effect. So August is their possession date. Pay close attention to possession, because this one on Farmstead has possession of September 1st here. Obviously, if you see that day, you know it's important to them. This one's about 1,500 square feet, hardwood granite. There is a shared fee of about $50. It's between $50 and $100. I can never keep them straight between complexes. So the house is a freehold house, but it's attached to a common element, which is the road. So for road maintenance, garbage removal, that kind of stuff, that's all done through a third-party company, not the town. And so you pay into that every month. But it's a pretty stable fee. There's not a lot that changes with it. It seems like a decent price. Wise Crescent is $479. And I believe there's another one of these right around the same price point on Ferguson. And if memory recalls, I would say the Ferguson one probably gets the edge for me on appearance. Although this one does say that there's a partly finished basement. If you look in the room measurements here, it says laundry. If laundry is the only thing that's finished, you're not getting a lot of value for that. Simplace looks like a very nice home. It's 2 in from Ferguson, very convenient location, and this is in the Irma Colson School District, which I've been hearing very good things about. The problem with this layout that I find is that you kind of walk right through the middle of the house, and you have to kind of split these rooms off. So to me, it's not entirely functional. The floors look great from the photos. It's modern. They've replaced the light fixtures. There are some elements I really like about this home. That being said, at $525, I'd probably jump over to the Heathwood area, go on something like Aird Court, get one of the Azalea models, probably a few hundred square feet bigger. This is just over 2,000 square feet plus the finished basement. You know, it's not bad though. I could see it attracting attention. The west location is going to save you time commuting versus going all the way up to Maine and Tremaine. So Boozefield is $529. There have been some backsplit homes that have sold in this neighborhood, 60 by 120 foot lots. For the life of me, and you're going to see this, is that there's a few homes today where I'm going, why did they do those appliances? You got to go stainless. You've got this nice fan here, and then you kind of, I don't know, I think the impression goes down a lot when you have the white appliances in a kitchen like that. I'm still not sure why they kind of did an extended backsplash that goes all the way to the toilet paper holder. Anyway, that shot right there is why I think personally that they're going to have a tough time at 529, because that is a rental building right behind, and there's another building over here. That can create problems because of privacy. Maybe when the trees fill in, it's all good. Again, backsplash kind of comes right across here, and probably because you have a shelf here. But anyway, not sure, like there's all these kind of bands of tiles and things like that. Anyway, there's a style for everybody, but I just think they're gonna have a bit of a tough time. I bet it will look good in person, but those appliances, for the cost of putting new ones in, you wouldn't lose money. So Philbrook is $559, 34 by 100 foot lots, and it's a double car garage, and it's got a finished basement. That's all I got for this one. There's no photos. There's not really a lot of description. It says there's a granite counter here. That's about it. So Cahoon is $575, and you've got, this is a plan 4, I think, Manamy, 2051 square feet. And there's a lot of stuff happening with this. I actually think it looks really good. This would be a house that if they took more stuff out of it, even this rug, for example, like you could showcase the hardwood floors. You could simplify. There's already patterns on the chairs that you could actually take that out and probably be in a better spot for selling. Even this thing here probably could go out. It's always better to be simple. That's the way it is. So there's a family room upstairs that you could probably easily convert back to a 4th bedroom if you wanted to, and it's got the nice vaulted ceiling right there. I'm not sure if the countertop is a regular counter or if it's upgraded. It looks like it's an overmount sink, in which case it's probably just like a laminate Formica counter. The bag of pet food there could probably disappear. If you're gonna take a shot of the laundry room, you gotta make sure it's perfect and there's no clutter in there. And anyway, this model has sold for around this price, so I think that there's a little bit too much stuff in there. It's probably going to show pretty well when you see it in person. This one in Gordon is $20,000 more, and not sure the size. Same thing. Look at this one here. You've got a stainless steel dishwasher, which is the hardest thing to put in. Even that, it's not that hard. The hood fan is a couple screws and a bit of tape, and then you've got fridge and stove, and you've got a water line on the fridge. It's not that complicated to do, and believe me, I'm not the handiest guy in the world, but that is something that would have made a huge impression. And so they've got the crown moldings that they've done, the hardwood floors, and so on and so forth. Orange, yellow, usually not a power color for selling. They've upgraded the floors upstairs, so if you have allergies, that could be a very positive thing for you. And anyway, the biggest draw with this home in this area is the fact that you have a 40 by 110 foot lot. To put that in context, Bronte Meadows by the hospital, typically they're like 40 by 100 foot lots. You're actually getting larger than some of the parts in Old Milton. Even some of the stuff in like that nice one on Galland yesterday, it's 115 feet. It's only 5 feet deeper than this. So people give the new homes a hard time because of lot size, but I'll tell you, this one has an Old Milton lot with a new Milton home, and I like it for that reason. So Woodward is $599. It's a bit larger than the previous one, but I don't know if it shows very well, and having a picture of the aquarium is probably not necessary really when you're selling the house. Same thing here. You've got a stove that's stainless steel. You've got white fridge, and well, basically the stove is the only thing that's been replaced. Taking the stuff off the fridge sounds simple. I mean, all this stuff, when I tell people, I kind of think they think I'm crazy, but it matters. The little details matters, especially in photos. And they've got a bidet, by the way. If you like a bidet, then that's your there you go. It's all good. And they're going to have a bit of a tough time. The other thing that's a good improvement for the house is you see how light this driveway is. It makes it look old. You're competing with stuff in town that's a year or two old. You got to blacktop that. It's not expensive, and it makes a massive difference in the impression of the home. So they've actually reduced the price. Being under $600 is going to help. I still don't think it's got the impression inside to make a big difference. So this one on Nairn is about 2,300 square feet. White appliances, I don't know. Is it me, or is it, I don't know. But anyway, let me know what you think. I think it just looks off to me. The rest of it's nice and modern. Modern equals stainless steel. Just that's the way it is. Not trying to be mean or anything. That's just how it goes. You spend all this money here and you can't spend a few $1,000s in the kitchen for some stainless steel. I just think it makes a big difference. Exterior pot lights, very nice. And the other thing is that it backs onto green space. So you have a lot of benefits here. If you're looking for a formal dining room, you've got a big kitchen here, a big eat-in, but you only really have one room on this house. You have a one big great room. That's it. If that's not your thing, you probably don't want to go see this one. Potts Terrace is $659, and it's about 2,200 square feet. It's an Albion Bay. We've seen a few Albion Bays list this probably in the last couple weeks. You could go over to Tonelli and buy the same model as this one, backing onto green space for $20,000 less. So right away they're competing against. They definitely have some competition. This one looks nice. I might even say they beat Tonelli, but they don't have the green space, and they're $20,000 more expensive. So Mishner is $669, and so they always quote, if you look down before we get into the pictures, 32 square feet, including 801 in the basement. So do the math on that. It roughly spits out to like 2,600 square feet plus a finished basement. That being said, the price isn't that far off if it's half decent inside. But here's the problem when they do that, is that main floor living space, to the cost to build right now, let's call it $150 a square feet. Main floor living space might adjust at maybe $80, $90 a square foot on resale. Basements are anywhere between probably $20, $30, maybe if it's really nice, $40 a square foot. So it doesn't make sense to put $40 a square foot space in with $80 a square foot space and call it all the same thing, because it's not. So a home that's bigger on the main floor without a finished basement has the potential to have much more finished space when it's done. And besides, there's not as many people that are interested in having the finished basement. It's more of an elective thing versus main floor and upstairs, always very functional space. So let's have a look at the pictures here. And if your bathroom breaks down, there's a porta potty right across the street. And yeah, you know, it looks all right. It's got decent colors. It's light. It's simple. Taking those stickers off the stove is probably a good idea before you sell. And they've upgraded the countertops. Again, builder finished basement here. So you know the quality's half decent down there. And there you go. That's it. It's okay price. So let's get to, there's two on the Oakville system. Tietzel's the first one up. And so it's a semi-detached. I just don't know how big it is. It's a 3-bedroom. It's done very well inside. They're asking $489, which is high for a semi. And they do have very nice finishes. So this one could kind of go either way. The size might hold them back, but the finishes are definitely boosting this one forward. And you can buy a lot of semi for $500,000 if you're smart about your shopping. So let's see what happens with this. I'll be watching this one because I think it's a really good property, and if they do crack that, probably if they crack anything above 480, I think they're doing really well. This one on Stewart is easily my favorite of the day, and it's Coscore built, stone and stucco on the outside. I don't know if everyone's going to love the color of the kitchen cabinets, but you've got a beautiful curved staircase there. You've got an open concept design. The iron pickets here. The real favorite, by the way, that's an IKEA bedspread. I had one of those in my first house. But here's the real delight about this home, is that you've got a gorgeous yard. Kudos to them for doing this shot right. You've got a pond behind, and just like I told you a few episodes ago, what will people pay $1 million for? Privacy. And so privacy is here in oodles and oodles, and you've got a good looking house that you could work with. Great curb appeal from the front, and for all those reasons, I think they're going to do really well. Most of the ones they're competing against up around this price range have some kind of a finished basement, maybe a little bit more living space, but that yard, that living space, and if you go on Stewart, you'll see it's a very nice street, one of the top streets in town. This is my favorite by far, and it's actually looking like a pretty good deal at $989. So if you have any questions, give us a call, and we would be delighted to help you find your next house. Okay, take care. We'll see you tomorrow.